even when it's not your birthday, you can expect to hear many happy returns at plenty of retailers. It's a policy that makes a lot of sense, and dollars too. Tracy Smith does the math.
If you've ever bought khakis or a school uniform, you probably know Land's End.
Was there anything wrong with them?
No.
And if you've ever tried to return something there, you know their policy too. Love it forever or get a refund. No time limit. Seems like it'd be hard to make any money that way, but Land's End has turned a corporate policy into an empire.
How big is this facility?
It's over 1 million square feet.
Thank goodness for the golf carts if it's 1 million square feet.
The sprawling company headquarters in Dodgeville, Wisconsin has a kind of airplane hangar quality to it. Here, customers worldwide can order up, let's say, a pair of pants. Get them custom hemmed, even monogrammed with their name. And if they ever fall out of love with it, they can mail it here, where someone like Marie Miller will take it back, even if it's been, well, used.
It's our policy, so, you know.
You mean to tell me I could buy a swimsuit, wear it for 10 years, and then return it? Absolutely.
Kelly Ritchie is VP of Customer Services.
But you can't resell it. In some cases, no. So do you think that the customers feel so loyal that they don't want to cheat you?
Our customers are incredibly loyal, and we have such strong relationships with our customers that our return rates are really within industry standards. So it is just not a problem.
Return policies in general can be opportunities for the unscrupulous, like people who buy something, wear it once, and return it, something known as wardrobing. The National Retail Federation says return fraud cost companies more than $9 billion last year. And companies like LL Bean are reportedly rethinking their generous return policies. Land's End says they're staying the course.
I'd like to believe that our return policy builds trust and loyalty with our customers, but they don't abuse it, surprisingly.
But they've tested the limits. For instance, this black cab was offered in the 1984 Christmas catalog, an authentic London taxi stuffed with $1,000 worth of goodies. It sold quickly, but 20 years later, the owners wanted to return it.
Yep, they took it back and refunded their money, $19,000.
Impressive, sure, but there's psychology behind all this.
Would you tell a store it's a good idea to have a liberal return policy?
Yes, I would.
What's more, says USC marketing professor Valerie Folks, the more liberal the return deadline, the better.
If you're on deadline, you're more likely to return it than if you're not on deadline?
If you have a close deadline, yes. But if you're thinking about that deadline as being 6 months in the future, you don't think about these things as much. And after all, let's face it, oftentimes we don't follow through on what we plan to do.
So for certain companies, easy return policies make sense, and some have become the stuff of legend.
Take it back.
Outdoor gear seller REI reportedly took back a used baby carriage because the mom said her children had outgrown it. A Costco customer is said to have successfully returned an empty bottle because the wine inside had given her a headache. And, the story goes, the luxury department store Nordstrom once took back a set of snow tires to keep a customer happy.
Take it back.
And they don't even sell snow tires.
Is the snow tire story true?
That is a true story. We opened a store in Fairbanks, Alaska in the 70s in a building that had previously been a hardware store. And a customer came to return some tires that they bought in that hardware store. And we said, here you go, here's your $50 back. And,
Jamie Nordstrom is the company's president of stores. He says that his employees are allowed to do whatever it takes, within reason, to keep shoppers happy.
I think part of having a more liberal return policy conveys to the customer that we trust them and we appreciate their business and we're loyal to them.
I mean, it almost sounds like Nordstrom believes in the good of mankind.
Well, we do think people are generally good and fair, and that's been our experience for a long, long time. And we think that if we do our part in doing a good job for them, that they'll return it by being loyal to us.
Retailers also know that once you actually get something home, you're much more likely to keep it. It's called the endowment effect.
In the sense that there's an endowment effect which says that losses loom larger than gains. What that basically means is that if you have something, it hurts to lose it. And that's where returning an object that you own feels a bit like a loss.
So once I have that blouse in my closet, I feel like it's mine and I'm losing it if I give it back, even if it's still got the tags on it.
Yes, exactly, yes.
And of course, once you're in the store returning something, you'll probably buy something else. So go ahead. You can always take it back.
That gives you that flair.